With God, everything is possible. We're hoping everything is gonna be good today. On this note, we have our Reverend Father, somebody that has been with us here in California, in our parish for some time, for quite some years, and left to Boston. We are honored to have him on Zoom, and we want to open this launch with a word of prayers from him, Father Canelo. Thank you, Reverend.
Okay.
Yes.
The spotlight you now.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to this gathering via Zoom. Let us begin by saying prayer together. Heavenly Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the wonderful opportunity you have given us to gather and to celebrate your talent, your gifts you have given to our brother Joseph, and the blessings you have also given to the community of the academic world, both teachers and parents. We thank you for everything you have done in our lives. We ask you to be with us as we gather to launch this wonderful work of our brother titled Difficult Parents and How to Work with Them. It is a contribution to the educational sector, not only in America, but in the entire world. We ask you to continue to bring your light of knowledge, your light of wisdom, your light of virtue to our darkened world. And that is what education means, educare, from the Latin word, which means to lead out of darkness into the wonderful light of wisdom. Guide all parents, guide all teachers. May your peace, may your blessings always be with them. Give us good children who will take our place when we are no longer there. May they become the future bearers of the light of your glory here on earth. As we launch and celebrate this work, may you be the beginning and may you be the end. May everything we do today be for our good and the greater glory of your name. We ask and make our prayers through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Dr. Ntung has worked so hard to launch 2 books. The first one, The Good Teacher, and the second one, Difficult Parents and How to Work with Them. So my husband really worked midnight, daytime, all the time to get this going. Sometimes in the night, he will get up and say, oh, I just thought about something, I need to put it down. So today, we are here to celebrate hard work. We are here to thank him for all the hard work and to acknowledge that, because not everybody can do what he did. So I want to say thank you so much, my husband, Dr. Ntung. And we're going to be calling on a great person, a great lady, a professor, Dr. Elizabeth Before, to moderate this program for us tonight. Thank you, everyone.
My name is Elizabeth Before Ambe. I'm a professor at the University of Massachusetts. I've been teaching for over 39 years. So it's very an honorable thing for me to be here today to honor one of our brothers, Dr. Joseph Ntung, who has done something that even many people in education typically do not do. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming. Thank you, Mrs. Helen Ntung, for your wonderful introduction to the event and for telling us why we are here. So, without overemphasizing, we know why we are here. To launch not 1, but 2 books. I just told you that I've been in education for almost 40 years, but not everybody who's been in education has written a book or even an article for a journal. So this is a great event, and I came all the way from Massachusetts to here because I know how important this is. And his wife has already articulated the amount of work that goes into this, the tenacity that goes into this, the sacrifice that goes into this, the sleepless nights that go into this, the brains that go into this, the dedication that goes into this, and the determination that goes into this, saying that I'm not only going to leave my knowledge to myself, and I'm going to share it with the world. So for that alone, I want us to give Dr. Ntung a big hand of applause. Thank you very much for his generosity to share his knowledge with the world. So when I talk to Dr. Ntung, whom incidentally he and I have been talking a lot on professional things, but we never met until today. It was nice meeting you today. Yes. When I talked to Dr. Ntung and he said to me, I wrote a book, the first thing out of my mouth was, when are you going to launch it? And he said to me, what is that? Welcome to those of you who are on Zoom too. I forgot to welcome you, but you are very much welcome. He said, what is that? I said, you birth a baby. The launching is when you present the baby to the world. When the whole world comes to celebrate what we call in the Grafi language, Dindamu. He said, I don't know where to start. And that's where I got myself into trouble. I said, I'm going to help you. Actually, when I said that, I wasn't expecting that it was going to be a physical thing. You all know that after COVID, we were so used to doing things by Zoom. And I was thinking about a Zoom launch. But this guy right here likes to go big. And he did not only a Zoom launch, but a physical launch. And for that, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. So this isn't about us. We want to hear from him why he wrote the book. I usually, let me just say this before I sit down. Kids are a parent's most prized possession. Those of us who are dealing with kids in schools, we know that we are dealing with a precious gem. And he actually examined two sides of a very difficult coin that we try to wrestle with every day. He talked about how to be a great teacher to those kids and how to handle their parents too. Now that is a tall order. And for somebody to look at something from all angles like that, to me, is really amazing. It takes brains, and it takes a lot of knowledge that not many of us can say that we have. So without any further ado, I'm going to call upon our guest person of honor today to tell us why he wrote not one, but two books about some of the most important things that we deal with in education. Being a good teacher and dealing with difficult parents. So please, join me in giving it up for the man of the day, Dr. Joseph Ntung.
Good afternoon, everybody. Once more, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you all for joining me today to celebrate the launch of my new books. I'm launching two books, Difficult Parents and How to Work with Them, and The Good Teacher. But before I proceed, I want to recognize two people who were the foundation of today's success. I want to thank my father, Pa Clement Tangang Di Fosru,
It's okay.
I want to thank my father, Pa Clement Tangang Difosuru, who has passed on. His love for education and schooling was very instrumental in my academic success. He sacrificed his meager resources for me to attend the best schools. He gave me a good education. Dear Father, today is your day, because you sacrificed for this to be possible. Thank you. Also, I want to thank Mr. Akor Padi Mbawa, who stood up for me to ensure that I migrated to United States of America. You are the elder brother who stood behind me when nobody did. Thank you, big brother. I will now delve into the reasons that motivated me to write these two books. The inspiration to write a book about difficult parents and how to work with them came from my interactions with parents in the school as a teacher and as a principal. When I was a teacher, I noticed that when I invited parents to a meeting for student misbehavior, most if not all parents always look for ways to side with their child. No matter how much I proved to them that the child had done something wrong, they never saw a fault in their child's behavior. The child was always right. That's what Sister over there said. Every parent, their child is a germ. Every parent always thinks that their child is right. On the other hand, when I talk to a student, as a principal, as a teacher, for misbehaving, and I indicated to them that I was going to call their parents, the child complied immediately. So I never had problems with the students per se. The resistance and the difficulties I had were with parents. As an immigrant teacher who spoke English with an accent, I noticed that parents smirked or giggled when I spoke to them. Some of their conversations went like, where did you go to school? Did you study English where you went to? These were remarks that practically questioned the foundations of my academic qualifications. I therefore thought that it would be good to propose solutions on how to interact with these type of situations in the school. As a principal, I still noticed that parent behavior to me was not different. When they had a problem with the teachers, it ended in my office. And when I did not side with them, they concluded that I didn't know what I was doing. As an immigrant parent in America, I also noticed that most parents from Africa are unaware of the importance of being involved in the activities of their children in school. They think that when the child goes to school, the teacher will do everything because the teacher knows everything and can do it for them. Their thinking is based on the culture they bring from their countries of origin, where teachers are always right, and when the child is taken to school, the parent's job is done. That's not the case here in America. Having thus noticed that the behavior of some of the parents in my school community and the unawareness from immigrant parents, I decided to write a book that will propose solutions on how to work with such difficult parents in a school. I spelled out parental involvement because it is not emphasized in other developing countries. Now you all need to know, parent involvement in the life of a child in school is key to the success of such a child. The motivation, the inspiration for why I wrote a book about the good teacher is because every student needs a good teacher. When a student is taught by a good teacher, it lays a solid foundation for the student to be successful in life. The good teacher provides structure to a student. This is helpful in how they process information and how they are organized in life. Being a teacher, I realized that there are benefits a student will derive from being educated by a good teacher. The good teacher can serve as a source of inspiration. Many of us here can remember some of their best teachers. They inspire you to go over and beyond. A good teacher can be a source of guidance. A good teacher can be a role model for every student. A good teacher can teach students how to think critically and why it is important to think critically. You'll find that in the book, page 84, Cognitive Knowledge and Depth of Knowledge. You'll find out in the Good Teacher, page 84. The good teacher is reflected in what the 21st century educated citizen should be. They have to be a very creative thinker. If you are taught by a teacher who is very intelligent, the child's intelligence will be very high. The child will think highly. The child will think critically. A good teacher has to be a creative thinker, an engaged learner, a constructor of knowledge, and above all, a person who is information literate. I have noticed that our present curriculum is not geared to meet the needs of our present time. So I outlined some ideas that I think will be better, that will better serve us in the 21st century. An educated person in the 21st century is one who possesses academic and social intelligence, critical thinking, and the interest and capability to contribute positively to the transformation of our world. That is who a 21st century educated person is. You will find a more detailed definition of academic and social intelligence in the book, The Good Teacher. A good teacher will create a learning culture that fosters communication and innovative problem solving that students will use in their future. It is good for a child to problem solve. When a child can problem solve, they don't give up. Because life is made up of problems. So a good teacher has to be innovative. A good teacher meets with the parents. They maintain positive relationships with students, with their co-workers and their supervisors. They create a safe, respectful, and inclusive classroom environment. You want your child to go to a classroom where they're not discriminated against. You want your child to go to a classroom where they feel safe and they can actually excel and feel free to talk in the class. When the classroom is not inclusive, the child's skills do not excel, they do not show, they do not shine. Based on the foregoing, I felt parents should have indicators of what constitutes a good or not good teacher in the classroom. I also wrote this book to share my experiences as a teacher and as an administrator with professional teachers and all other stakeholders in education. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Ntung. Give it up to him again. A book launch has two purposes: to introduce the book to the world and to sell the book. And now he's giving us a little bit of a teaser. We are all parents here. We've all been in school. So this book actually speaks to all of us. Us is Dr. Fitz Philo Kunihiro.
For giving us the opportunity to be here with you. It is an afternoon there. It is a morning in Uganda. My name is Faith Philo Kunihiro, and I'm the founder and executive director of the organization called Bringing Hope to the Family. It's been existing for 24 years, and our main focus is education for very vulnerable children. We look at educating a child from day one up to through university, but also beyond university. At the same time, I am the female representative or a member of parliament a female member of parliament in Uganda for the area of Chenjo, which is located in the western part of this country. And I want to thank Dr. Ntung for giving me the opportunity to be part of the book launch. But again, from an African perspective, to look at his book and how valuable it is to us as Africans. And I selected just the issue of aligning around a shared vision. I realized that in education, the stakeholders must all come together to be able facilitate education and to be more effective. Just like Dr. Ntung was saying, it's the parent, it's the child, it is the school, but it's also the government. And looking at what Dr. Ntung said, one of the key challenges here in Africa is that our children have not been given the opportunity for their parents to participate. Our biggest challenge, basically, that this book is going to address, as we read it as Africans, maybe as Ugandans, is the factor of parents not participating fully in the education of their children. We realize that the children, out of 12 months of a year, spend 9 months with the teacher. And if a parent is not close to the teacher, if a parent is not friendly to the teacher, if a parent is not interested in the school issues and the school environment, that means that parent is likely to lose their child to a person they don't know and they don't understand and they don't know what values this person is putting into their children. So this book answers these issues and creates solutions for us to see how to encourage parents to participate fully in the education or in the affair of the education. But also the other issue that is addressed in this book is the learning whereby our children, especially here in Africa, are learning like European history, they're learning Canadian praise, and all these kind of things, planting wheat in Canada, and so on and so on. And the question is, are these things really valuable for our children? And this book talks about it. These books talk about it. How do we align our children with the modern technology, but with things that are practical and helping them to learn and to love learning? And I think this is also a very core thing. As a country in Uganda, we have just changed our curriculum to ensure that the curriculum does become more practical and just, which makes students more participatory. And this is a new curriculum, especially for the advanced level, for the secondary school, and we see more children getting more interested in education than ever before. So I want to thank Dr. Ntungi, and my responsibility as a Ugandan is to make sure the book is marketable here in Uganda, to make sure that members of parliament and other stakeholders do participate in the purchase of this book. But lastly, as a person that is interested in education, I believe that education is an equalizer. If you have been raised up in poverty, if you get educated, you score, you equalize, and you kick out poverty completely out of your family, out of your community, and out of the nation. And I believe that Africa must awaken to educate its citizens very seriously. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Faith. We're going to move on to the next speaker, who is Dr. Etame. Dr. Etame is a science teacher in Inglewood Unified School. So, Dr. Etame, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Ambe. First of all, before I introduce myself formally, I would like to thank Dr. Ntung for the opportunity he's given me today to be part of this panel. I've known Dr. Ntung for several years, and as he spoke, as he broke into tears, I remember much well. One of the things that he told me when he was a participant in my first doctorate. I went to interview him when I wrote my thesis, and he showed me his wall in his office, speaking back to what he just said about parents. Especially we as immigrants who speak with a certain accent. I would say the local Americans think, well, you have an accent. No, everybody does have an accent. So you just have a different accent. So Dr. Ntung was compelled to have all his diplomas on his office wall to convince parents that he's actually a doctor. And it was such an amazing scene when I went to his office to interview him, and I saw the wall behind him filled with achievements. Isn't that a good thing to achieve? The first one would be the DOK, in short. is the depth of knowledge. You know, when we teach, there's the substance we teach. Teaching entails the content, the process, the assessment, and the classroom environment. Like here today, when you walk into this room, you will know there was a book launch because there is something that sticks to it. In our classroom, usually we have posters, you know, in the science classroom or English or word history classroom, you have posters on walls. The DOK, depth of knowledge, well, simply exemplifies how deep what teachers teach, students can learn. And there are 4 levels. Like Dr. Ntung said earlier, we're not going to say everything that's in the book. Buy the book so you can take advantage and read what's inside. But I'll give you a clear synopsis of what depth knowledge is. Depth of knowledge involves 4 levels. Level 1 is simple knowledge. Level 2, well, is application, how you apply that knowledge. Level 3 is critically thinking critically. And level 4 is actually making connections. I'll give you a simple example. We all know airplanes fly, right? They take off, they fly, and they land. So that's knowledge. Now, how do we apply that? To understand how airplanes fly, stay airborne, and land, we need to understand all 4 levels of DOK. First, airplanes will run down the runway. They will speed up. They will raise the nose. They will take flight, and they will stay airborne. So here you have, for the flight, you have thrust that propels the airplane forward. You have weight that would allow the airplane to land. You have drag that pulls the airplane backwards. And then you have the lift that pulls the airplane up. So that's what we call depth of knowledge. So students will understand fly at different levels. Everybody will understand a plane flies, but how does it fly? So these are the 4 levels of depth of knowledge. And again, I'm not going to go through all the book. So the second talking point that Dr. Ntung honored me with was to speak to classroom management. Seriously, what he talked about earlier, we all face it. When we first step into a classroom, you feel, you get those hurdles about good or bad students. My little story is this. When I first stepped into a classroom in the United States, I went home that night, told my wife, I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. Because we know how education is back home in Cameroon. While the teacher is an authority. If the teacher whoops you up in class, you go home, you tell your parents, you get some more whooping. But here you can't whoop a child. So how are you going to deal with the bunch of behavior issues that students bring in? First, my experience. Classroom management is the one thing that breaks you or make you as a teacher. If you cannot control your classroom, you cannot teach. No matter how knowledgeable you are of the subject matter, you cannot teach. So over the years, I came up with strategies on how to manage the classroom. Because one thing you manage is behavior. What the state expects us as teachers to do is to keep the kids safe. Usually nobody's going to question how much you taught to the kids. Even though it's a duty, it's a moral responsibility we bear as teachers. So managing the classroom, you have to manage the time first. Managing the time entails planning the lesson. A good lesson plan prevents the kids from being out of control. But also, another way to really control your classroom is to create relationships with kids. Build relationships. Tell them, make them understand that they matter. That's the first thing you have to do. When I teach, the first 2 weeks of school, I don't teach curriculum. I actually teach kids how to behave in my classroom. And I tell them, look, I don't care how much what you do in Dr. Ambe's classroom. When you come here, first of all, this is how you walk in here. You don't just walk in. There's a way to walk into my room. This is my set. The second, one of the other things I do, I make them make the rules. So when they make those rules, they know the rules, and they will abide by the rules. Even though I have my 5 set rules, my rules are 5. But you will understand usually when they make the rules, they're all the same. So managing the classroom management is managing behavior. It's how you set the tone from day one. You tell the kids how to behave in your classroom. Thank you very much. You have a good evening.
Yes, so I'm gonna go right ahead with the program and call on our next speaker, Dr. DeFortune, who is a math teacher in Inglewood Unified Schools.
Dr. Ntung consults, goes into research, come to us, we share ideas as teachers. Meet Dr. Itame, we share as teachers because we have all taught in the same district. Well, now I'm not going to get right there because, as Millie said, people have to get into the book and see exactly what Dr. Ntung has written. Now, I'm going to put some key points. If we are expecting our children to succeed, not just sending them to school, to say, okay, go to school, let the child, just impact knowledge into your head. You, the parents, you have a lot to do. The first thing I want to nail, which I got from the book, and from my experience of having taught for 27 years, is establishing a positive learning environment for your child. Now, what do I mean by this? Create a conducive atmosphere at home that promotes learning, such as setting up a designated study area with necessary materials. We don't just get our children, they come and sit at home, they go into all the work, you don't even have where they can even read. They don't have the materials. And the next morning we just stand up and send them to school. When you get more into from the book, then. The second thing is, we sometimes have difficulties communicating with the parents. We sometimes have difficulties. Well, what we try to advise from my experience is that the parents are supposed to be in regular contact with teachers to get updates on their child's progress. They should attend parent-teachers conferences and ask for strategies to support your child's learning. Now, some parents who are very difficult, I have been working with difficult parents, like Dr. Drew said sometimes, that some parents are so difficult. Now, when you call them, they don't even want to pick your call because you want to get involved, you want to tell them something about that child and how you think they can help that child get success. They don't want to hear that. But when the child has an F grade, okay, they want to hear that. How do we do? What should my child do to get a pass grade? Now, these are the parents who work with every day. Every day. Unfortunately, in America, which I used to tell, in Africa, we get good education. That is true. The next thing is monitoring homework and assignment. Please, let's always monitor our children's homework and assignment. Help them wherever we can. Help them to get the assignments done, because that's the problem I face in the classroom. The parents don't even monitor the assignment, nothing. Have you done an assignment? Oh no. You call the parents and say, look, have you monitored your child doing the assignment? Those parents who monitor their children doing the assignment, they do extremely well. They do extremely well in class. And in fact, you should really see that. Then the next one is encourage a love for reading. Please let children read, because one of the key aspects in education is if you cannot read, you can't do anything. Period. If you can't read, you can't do anything. So if the children are used to reading, it is easy for them to interpret the question or anything the material to give, for them to do authority on what is happening and for them to update you about your child's education. Thank you very much because of the time factor. I think when we go into chapter 5 of the book, we're going to get all these talking points which are just enumerated here. Thank you very much.
So we're back again, and I was saying, we are here for one purpose, to launch this book. And at the beginning, I told you why a book launch is important. So now we are gonna, because there are, of course, you can see there are many people who are anxious to say something, questions and answers, people who have to be acknowledged, people who have supported this person during the birthing process. But those of us who are, we're going to do two things now. We're going to have an interlude, which is like for the refreshment. But during the interlude, if you've already bought a copy of your book, like myself, I had to buy it and, of course, read all of it in order to be here today and do an effective job with the launching. You can bring it to the author to endorse the book for you during the interlude. And those who haven't bought the book yet, the book I have heard is over there, and our sweet daughter is going to be actually organizing the sales of the books. When you buy your book, just come in line, and the author is going to endorse it for you. And the rest of us are going to have something to buy. This support, and you have a commission to tell more people about this event that you've witnessed today. If you bought a book, at the Zoom people there, if you bought a book or you did not buy a book, that's okay. We're going to do the book launch proper now. This is the ritual in the book writing world. So I'm going to ask you to stand up and hold up your book. Yeah, hold up the books that you bought, and whether they were endorsed by the author or not. He's still signing away. I need you up to please kindly stand up for this part of the event. This is the heart of the matter. And hold up your books. Let me see it. On account of, you can take mine, you can borrow mine because you have to hit theirs. On account of 1, 2, 3, you're going to shout, "Congratulations, Dr. Ntung," and you're going to kiss your book to as many people as possible. And those of you who are at home, thank you very much. I see Sister Amamundi's book. I see many other books. So, on the count of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Congratulations, Dr. Ntung. Then kiss, 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 toss, 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 toss. Hit as many as possible. Yeah. I go. He's going to take that part of the occasion. So after you've done that, cheers. Yeah, cheers. After you've done that, Dr. Ntung says there are some very important personalities who have supported him, and he cannot go home today without recognizing and thanking them. So over to you, Dr. Ntung.
I'm going to call on one of our leaders in the community. She's on Zoom, Madam Mrs. Mundi, to talk. Madam Mrs. Mundi, please. Mama, I know you know me for long, and make it just 2 minutes. After Madam Mundi, Prince Chris Ikanyi, Dr. Ikanyi, then will speak. Madam Mundi, please, could you talk? This is something that you know so much about. I'll appreciate the information is a lot, but just make it crispy. Make it just 2 minutes. Thank you. Prince Chris Ikanyi, Dr. Ikanyi, then will speak. Madam Mundi, please, could you talk? This is something that you know so much about. I'll appreciate the information is a lot, but just make it crispy. Make it just 2 minutes. Thank you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you all. And I really, really appreciate all the great educators I've listened to, and the parliamentarian, Dr. Faith, the Reverend, and everyone on this forum. I've been in the business of education for more than half a century. My first classroom was 1965. I was a mathematics teacher at Seka Baptist College in Cameroon. I've served my government Cameroon in policy for 22 years, and I thank Dr. Ntung for writing this book for teachers, because only education builds communities, and communities build countries. I advise global governments on education. I've been to China. You will not believe it. There's what we call intersectionality. There's a lot we share in common across the world. So when you hear that word teacher, don't just think it's just ordinary people. We are ordinary, but we are uncommon. There are teachers who are lawyers. There are teachers who are doctors. There are teachers like me who served governments and came to follow mathematics as a passion. We heard a parliamentarian speak. I worked with Dr. Ntung for 6 years in one school. And I taught in all the districts in California, LAUSD, Inglewood, Lanewood, Ivy School, facilitating mathematics, Common Core, and all of that. This book, Good Teacher, means there's better, there's best. I'm glad it started with good. because learning doesn't stop. You keep improving. Even if you're a leader of a country, you keep improving, and every generation will add to it. I want to say the beauty of this book, these two books, is the simplicity. Easy to read, very real. What he has written is true. I was there. I saw the quality of this man, his quiet excellence. I sat with him in staff meetings. So these are great two books for any continent. They will be translated in Chinese, in every African language, and a great book for America. I want to point out that we're teaching a virtual generation, a different one, where we have to go beyond just giving facts. No. Somebody came up with 4 C's. We have to teach children how to communicate in a classroom between themselves. Talk to each other, discuss the math, or whatever you're teaching. Children need to talk. You don't know it all. I had classrooms where they were genius. Genius means that child has a gift, smarter than what you're teaching. Before I put it on the board, they already knew the next step. You have to know how to address this unique kind of children. Some of them are very slow, but very athletic. So you have different kinds of learners in any room. Dr. Ntung does an excellent job in his book. I want to take 30 seconds, with your permission, to address the new teacher on the good teacher, page 39. Everything, please read that carefully, very carefully. You can fail day one as a new teacher because that's your most important day. You must have your lesson plan ready when you get there. You need to know your students. Stand at the door, welcome them. Assign them desks. Have your rules and let the rules be made with them. Discuss day one. Put a structure. You are in charge, not the student. The student is not in charge of that classroom. You are. So manage it, knowing you have diverse learners. I asked my own grandchildren, what would you like to see in a teacher as research? The 12-year-old said they should listen to students. The 7-year-old said they should have experience. The 8-year-old said they should be kind to their students and make people raise their hands before they talk. So you're not teaching students who don't know what they want. Today's children know. They are not blank slates coming for you to fill with math and history. No, no, no. Some already know that technology more than you, the teacher. I taught in some districts very wealthy. I have what they call smart boards. The textbook is already inside my computer. I just go and click, it shows on the smart board. I taught in other districts like Inglewood, where I had 9 calculators for 34 students. In North Carolina, I had 34 calculators for 22 students. That's America, great country, but with inequalities in the distribution of resources based on taxation plans. So thank you, Dr. Ntung, for 2 great books. I will make sure these books are marketed as far and wide as possible, and we should keep communicating, collaborating, doing critical thinking, and being creative. The rest of it you will see in my own upcoming book. I will have the rest of it for you. But these are great resources for any country, whether it's Europe, Africa. There's a lot specific to America. But I talked about intersectionality. We are all common learners of the globe. Before I leave you, I want to just read one small quote for you, please. 30 seconds and I should be off. Thank you, great learners, great professors, for your patience. 100 years from now, it will not matter what kind of car I drove, what kind of house I lived in, how much money I had in the bank. But the world may be a better place because I made a difference in the life of a child. Teachers are people who make a difference, and together Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma Ama Mundi. And we hear you. They say it doesn't really matter the kind of car we drive, the kind of house we live in. What matters is the lives that we touch. And we are here today to celebrate that. Dr. Ntung is particular that there is somebody here who has touched his life in a very special way, and he would like to give that person a minute. Please try to make it a minute if it's possible. But after that, this is something that you all sitting here are very important. We are going to have a question and answer session at the end for everybody who wants to say something, ask the author a question, or just say something. So the next person who is going to speak for, please, no more than 2 minutes, is Dr. Chris Ikiani, Director of Curriculum, LAUSD. Give it up for Dr. Ikiani.
It's my greatest pleasure to speak to you about this wonderful books written by my very good friend and professional colleague, Dr. Joe Ntung. You know, Dr. Joe is a true practitioner. Do you know where he was last night? As at 11 p.m. he was in my house just to come to support me. Yesterday, he drove more than 1.5 hours because he heard that the child, my daughter, was graduating. Any place you mention education, he's there. Regardless of the distance, the time, he was there. He knew that he was doing something today. Time to come yesterday to support me. I truly appreciate you. You know, just like the moderator said, I've been in education here in the United States for 43 years. And currently I'm with the Los Angeles Unified School District. You know, I served as a school site administrator for 18 years. 11 years as a principal, 7 years as an assistant principal. I said it just to let you know what you'll be looking for when you're dealing with education. There are two types of it. There are two components in education. The knowledge component and the practice component. Dr. Joe embodies both. He has the knowledge, he has the practice. And all these qualities he poured into these two books. You know, we always say that certain things in life are better experienced than imagined. Dr. Joe has experienced education. He wrote about it in the books. As a true practitioner who dealt with the issue, he doesn't only have the theory, he has the practice. And he poured out all those qualities in this book. For example, he asked me to speak to you about the good teacher, to speak to you about the 193 of the good teacher. That's the role of the principal. He wants me to tell you all the things a principal does. But that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is to let you know, as parents, how to assess the school through the principal, how to make the school principal work for you. Because that is one of the key things you need to know as a consumer of education, as a parent who has children in school. You have to make sure that you get to know the principal. On the book, on page 193, he was talking about all the things the principal does. You know, managing the school. The principal is the instructional leader, the operational leader. He deals with the budget. He deals with the operational staff, cafeteria manager, the buildings and grounds, all kind of things. Then he deals with all the stakeholder groups, teachers, different levels of staff, parents, and the community. With all these things in the plate of the principal does not have any time. He doesn't have any extra time. They have limited time to do their work. What does that mean? It means that he might not have all the time for your own children. That means you need to make out the time to get to the school, to know the principal, so they can use the principal to make the school work for you. The principal is always very busy. But as a taxpayer, as somebody who has a child in school, it's very important for you to go in there. The former speaker spoke to you about participating in parent conference. That's one thing. But nothing stops you from going in, picking a call to call the principal, the principal to say, no, I want to have a time to meet with you. You go there, introduce yourself, ask, how can I help the school? When you start putting a face, when the principal sees that this parent is a caring parent, he cares about education, the principal will not mess with you. They will know that your child needs to be in the best classroom in that school. They will know that if anything goes wrong, this parent cares, and this parent will come in and ask questions. But it's always very good to utilize the 4 C's that the last speaker spoke about: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. So you collaborate with the principal. You communicate with the school. Don't just go in there and start complaining about the teacher, because the teacher is a reflection of the principal's semester. Try to find a way to establish good relationship with the school, with the principal, and then look for other opportunities within the school. Don't wait until your child turns 18, some of them 17 and about to get to college, when they start asking questions about higher education. Those questions need to start from day 1. From kindergarten, you need to start bonding yourself, thinking about what kind of school do I want for my child? What kind of grades do I want? And how do I get it to work? Because education is very expensive. I know illiteracy is more expensive, but education is also very expensive. And if there is a way you can get your students working with the child, working with the teacher, the principal, to make sure that they get the best grade. Make sure that you buy the book. Buy this book, because buying this book, if you are sowing in a good soil, if the good teacher will show you all the things you need to know in order to navigate the school system and to support this child. Please invest in this book.
Yes, there are a good number of you here who are very excited with this publication. And I did share with you that having been blessed with a sound education thanks to the meager resources of my parents, I intend to extend a helping hand to others who do not have the privilege of parental support in their academic journey. So I'm planning that partial funds from this book will go to provide scholarships, teaching and learning materials like textbooks, workbooks, and uniforms, films, videos, lab, and library access to less privileged and poor children in Cameroon and other African countries. I have to also let you know that proceeds here will be used for teacher training. The information we have here, there are lots of our brothers and sisters out of here who don't have access to it. I will be providing teacher training based on the information we have here to other people. I'm going to use some of the information. I will do staff development. I will strengthen our partnerships with an organization in Uganda called Bringing Hope to the Family. This is an organization that has long been helping in providing educational assistance to children in Ugandan schools. I'm therefore appealing to you who care about education to support this book launch so that others can have a basic education in Cameroon and in other African countries. You can support this book launch by paying more for the book. You can support it by buying more copies for your teachers and parents. You can support it by donating to the ideas I've advanced to you. On that note, I want to let you know that I had a chief launcher who himself was an educator, is an educator. Dr. and Mrs. Lawrence Tanifon. The co-launcher, the required man in our community, he has also told me to let you know the co-launcher, Mr. and Mrs. Formukong. So at this time, I'm going to be calling on my junior brother. He's in Missouri. He's a doctor, but he said, don't call me doctor. But I'll call him a doctor. Dr. Dennis Tita. He's on Zoom. Very humble junior brother of mine. Dr. Dennis Tita, if you are ready, the time is yours to provide your donation to the launch. I have the Prince of Nkwen, who's here with us. Prince Polycarp Ngufo. He's here with us, and I would like him to come here and have a moment. That's my brother, from a different mother. When I came here, we were the two core Nkwen people in this community. So he knows how far I've walked. He knows how many steps I've missed. He knows how much I've stumbled. When his late father was alive, when I called him, he said, how's your brother? When he calls the father asks him, how's your brother? Referring to me. He's been a friend. He's been a brother. He's a good man. The mic is yours, sir.
Hello. I just want to welcome all of you for coming to support my brother, Dr. Ntung. As he rightly said, he is my best man during my wedding. And when he entered here, we've been sleeping on one bed before we separated. But he is a hard-working man, a very dedicated father. You guys can see his profession as a teacher is not a mistake because he cares a lot about children. The wife and the children can testify here. He never jokes about his children. I also have a wonderful and supportive wife. They say if you see a successful man, there's always a wife pushing him. My wife, since I met her, if there's anything about Dr. Ntung, I'm not going to sleep. I want her to meet me on the stage because whenever I say we should go out, when it is any occasion, I'm the one pushing her out. But anything that concerns Dr. Ntung, she pushed me out. Madam, yes, I know this is my best man, my brother, and everything. You know everything, and he's your heart. So I'm just going to give you the microphone to support this project. It's not a joke. We want the children to be prosperous.
Thank you, my beloved husband. Hello, everybody. Hi, Dr. Ntung. Hi, my first husband. Hi, big brother. Hi, father figure. Hi, community builder. We have gathered all out here tonight or today to celebrate you. We know how much this milestone means to you. Like my husband said, if I can borrow his words, you're a hardworking man. You're an achiever. You've made it. This is your best wish and your greatest wish. And we're all here today to support you because we love you, we admire you, and we thank God for your life. We thank you for the life you're living in the community. And just because you've touched us again here in a very different way, saying that you're reaching out to the kids that don't have the opportunity to have the kind of education that we're blessed with out here. And standing here like someone that went through the same stage, not knowing where my next pencil will come from or where my next tuition would come from. And I'm privileged to be here today because, first of all, you believed in me when you saw me. When your friend introduced me to you, you fought for me. Without even knowing me, you believed in me. And you've been nothing but a pillar of, I don't know what else to say, to lean on in this marriage. And I thank you. And I thank my husband for acknowledging that today. Thank you.
Everybody, I know we're short of time, but my good friend, over the years, we've known each other since 1995.
Yes. Yes.
We met,
Yes.
was it in the hallway of
School district.
Ingles School District?
Yes.
And I saw the fire in his eyes. That's still on. So without further ado, I'll going to support you anytime, anywhere.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We have some other people on Zoom. I don't want to have any particular order in which to call them. Anybody who feels motivated by the idea and the concept, you're free to donate now or after. My brother, Mr. Kejiba. Hey, I don't want to say, but I would like, come, madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening,
Take
all.
a picture of this, my brother. Okay.
Okay. When my wife came. No, this one. Okay. Oh, this one. This one. When my wife came here from Nigeria in the year 1997. Yes, 1997. She had done optometry in Nigeria. And then when she came, I wanted her to further with the optometry course. But she said no, she wanted to teach for some years before she goes in because of the requirements and all that. I said, okay. And then Dr. Joseph was there. So she comes home, she keeps telling me about this Dr. Joseph, this Dr.
Mr. Joseph.
So, Mr. Joseph at the time. And then she keeps saying, her mentor, her mentor. You know, I couldn't say anything, I've never met him. But it was, you know, teaching in a elementary school? Middle school. Science. She comes home, she's exhausted, she's tired. I said, I want you to quit this job. She said no. But this guy, Mr. Joseph then was there and stood behind her. If she has any problem in the class or anything, Mr. Joseph will go and then handle that. And that was how she was able to go through all this. And anything we have done here within my family, Dr. Joseph now will be there to support us. And when he called us today, I have quite a few other things to go to today. I said we will have to honor him to this August occasion. So, but I don't know if you have anything to say.
Well, I think you said it all.
Okay.
I call him, you all call him Dr. Joseph. I call him Mr. Mentor.
Okay.
Way back from, that was 1999, before I had Chiamaka, my daughter. And that's what I still call him, Mr. Mentor, sir. This man you see here, he is my big brother. He helped me in no ways, I can't even begin to explain. But I know one thing for a fact. He's a very hardworking man, and he loves education. And I've seen him go through all these years to what he is today. Mr. Mentor, sir, keep up the good work.
Okay.
And glad it's been there too. We're all together.
I will tell you one thing. This lady, she's a medical doctor now. Yes, Dr. Mrs. Ikejuba, Jane Ikejuba. I am telling you, we have walked the walk.
Yes.
In this education.
Yes.
Leave it. Leave it. She called me Oga Mentor till today. And that word Oga Mentor, or that phrase Oga Mentor, is loaded. Every time she calls me, I visualize how we got to where we are now. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, my brother. Very good guy. Very good guy. Very good, Manny. Thank you, sir. You can hold the board.
Oh, okay. Well, me and my family, we got to come to know Dr. Ntung because we go to the same church here. Okay, me and my family got to know Dr. Ntung's family because when we moved here to Palos Verdes, we started going to the Catholic church right here, and we met them. Very wonderful people. And Dr. Tung is, I mean, we've been talking about business right now. You know, I like his ideas.
Anybody who has, okay, Mr. Adam, please. We have just 10 more minutes to be here. After Mr. Adam, Mr. Eric. So please make it very brief because you know where we are. We have to do our, but from here, we'll go down to my own residence and continue the matter there. To my home.
Good evening, everybody. Dr. Ntung is like a bigger brother to me. When I left the Navy in the year 2012, I joined the school district, LA Unified School District, as a school safety operations manager. While I was there, Dr. Ntung joined the staff somewhere 2013, 2014. And we worked together for 5 years. I'm not surprised everybody testify how great a guy he is. Dr. Ntung now is like a family to me. I call him the last Don. The last Don because he was always there for me at work and beyond work. As a veteran, he stood in for me anytime I have any military engagements, and he will stand in for me every now and then. We work up to 2017. Even though we are no more on the same staff, we still remain great friends.
Mr. Eric Chair, President Bafoot, and great community leader. Let's make it brief. You see how the time looks like.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Welcome.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, sure. Hello. Yeah, as Doctor just said, my name is Eric Che. I'm the president of Bafoot Manjang. And I stand here this afternoon to acknowledge that my senior brother, he's a great community builder. And as an educator, we all here sitting here, we know what that means. You have to go through a lot in order to get to the stage where he is today. So being here tonight, I believe we are all here to support the cause. We've all heard him. He has said he's going to make sure that other kids back at home who do not have that privilege to go to school or the kind of education that we go through here, he's going to see to it that those children will be able to have school materials and what they need to carry on education. So I think it's something we all here we desire to happen. My community, that is what we do, bring up children to become leaders of tomorrow. Otherwise, we don't have a future.
Thank you so much, Pa Eric. We really appreciate it. So, okay, we're running out of time. I want to call on Ni Munzi and Prince Polycam Gufo. They have champagne. We cannot finish this occasion without gracing it. We can continue the contributions, but we need to pop champagne to acknowledge Dr. Ntung for this great work. He wanted to actually have a school in United States, worked so hard for that, but those dreams fell off. Then he picked up this one, and I'm so proud of him. So can we have Nimunzi and Tamunto? Please, can you guys come in front? I think the kids already have some cups going around. Ni?
Well, hello. Okay, thank you all. I'm not a teacher, so I'm really going to be short. Trust me on that. Well, Joe, once more, congratulations to myself and Polycarp. I'm popping this champagne. It's going to be in your honor. everybody has said everything else that we need to know about you. And thank you for all the great work. Madam, thank you as well. Thank you.
And then I'm going to call Dr. Odensi to propose a toast for this event tonight. Dr. Odensi.
This one? Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Henrietta Udensi. I'm a good friend of Ntung. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Ntung and, of course, the beautiful wife, Helen, for a beautiful job and for this wonderful accomplishment. I will be supporting this occasion as well with $200. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to propose a toast to Dr. Ntung. Congratulations to him and to your family. Can you please come with your cup? To Dr. Ntung, everybody. Cheers, everybody.
It's okay. One community. That's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine.
You know about talk about
Yeah, I know what talk. Yeah. Okay.
Speak at that. Go.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Taniko is a little busy. I am representing the family. I just want to say, certainly, this is a giant step by Dr. Ntung launching his 2 books. Dr. Ntung is a brother to the Bakut family here in Los Angeles. And I'm going to step in here on behalf of his friend, Atancho, late Atancho Teddy Nia. I really want to appreciate him on his behalf, because if Atancho was alive, he would be right there with you all in that launching. So on behalf of Atancho Teddy Nia, my husband and I, Joseph Taniko, we are going to be supporting this book launch with
because of 500 rand.
As many copies as possible, as we've heard during the speeches made by the coordinator. And thank you all for coming. And have a good one. And hoping to join you another time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maros. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to call on Dr. Obidi right here.
What?
Hi, everyone. I don't have much to say.
Where's the mic? Please.
This is my elder brother. This is my elder brother. He's like my father here. We talk together, we understand. I will not say much.
Well, call me comrade. Hello, everyone. Yeah, just want to say a few words. I know time is running, but what I wanted to say that everybody mentioning Dr. Ntung, but there's one missing component, which is the wife. And we also know that behind every successful man, there's a lady. Okay, so congratulations, y'all. It's not easy. Spoken words are very easy, but when it comes to writing, some of you who have been there know what I'm talking. And without wasting your time, myself and my wife, I don't want to talk about the connection, but when I met this lady about 5 years ago, she was like a sister. I always, I don't know what to say, but I want to support.
Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I am Blasius Agum, and my mentor, brother, and my beautiful sister here are people I hold dear.
Thank you. I want to acknowledge everybody. Dr. Tonya Ogele is in the house. Ta Eric, Ma Tazo is here. Tiana Bibi. We want to acknowledge everybody in this room. I know that the supports are still going to come. If you have anything in mind, no rush. Just give what you feel you can give. And then we're going to receive it and then give your thanks too. And the children are going to receive it too. So I want to use this opportunity to thank my sister, Lizzie Shanghai. She's the one that made all the food. So thank you so much, Big Sis, for always being there. Also, Mr. and Mrs. Zifo, Jenny, want to say what? These are the teachers, okay? I respect all the teachers because I think I'm a difficult parent.
Thank you, thank you.
This one works.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
AJ.
good evening, everybody.
Congratulations to my senior colleague.
Thank you so much. They say a little drop of water make an ocean. Nothing is small. Nothing is small. Let me acknowledge somebody before. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. So there is somebody that has been working hand to hand to put all this, the Zoom and the picture or whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ntung, please say it one more time. That made me. No. Say it, please. The unquenchable fire. So, yeah, I want to thank you so much for being a wonderful person since I met you in America. You're a mentor. At times when we discuss, I'm even confused of how to address you. I say my big brother, I say pa, I say grandfather, all of that. So I thank you for being that wonderful person. I thank you for being a leader in our community builder, and for giving me the space in your family and your life to, kind of share this wonderful aura. I will not say much. I'm Samuel Ntung, by the way. I'm the president of Kamkali Veteran. I will support this wonderful movement because it goes back to the grassroots. He talked about supporting those who are not more very privileged. I think I can actually associate myself with that because I actually come from a background that is not as well doing as
Hold on. We have what in Esprit de Corps. This is another teacher coming to talk, Mr. Yambe.
Well, oh, really? Oh, okay. I'm very sorry. I have to do this. My wife and I will support Dr. Ntung. That's her best friend. So.
All right. On behalf of all the youths, okay, I would like to support my big brother, community builder, Chief Dr. Ntung, the one and only Life and Joy President.
I want to give a word of thank you to all of you guys. First and foremost, listen up, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank Dr. Elizabeth Ambe. Dr. Elizabeth Bifu Ambe. She came all the way from Boston, and she is the reason behind why I did this book launch. In all honesty, listen up, guys. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We got to take pictures together. In all honesty, I did not know how to go about this until I talked to this, my sister. I call her sister. I've worked with her for a long time. Very brilliant lady. Very, very brilliant. I told her I've written a book. When I sent a copy to her, she said, Joseph, you had a big project like this, I didn't know. But, I only know how to fight. I only know how to work. She said, you cannot light your lamp and put it under the table. We have to launch this book. I want to thank you, Dr. Ambe, because you are the one that has put this book here on the limelight. You're the one that has put the book out there. You gave me the courage to go about this. You thought it was going to be a Zoom only. Whichever way you said we're going to do this book launch, and we have done it. Thank you. And let me go to the script. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to everyone who helped to make this book a reality.
Silence. Come on.
Could you guys be quiet over there in the back, please? From my editor, from my family, my wife and my children, my friends, I could not have done this without your support and encouragement. I want to give my mother a big thank you. When I started talking, I talked about my dad. You guys saw tears come to my eyes. My dad was ready to sell the house we have in Lagos, Nigeria now for me to go to school. You all don't know what that means, but when you have invested a lot of your sweat, if you're ready to give it up for a child, it means you're ready for that child. I cannot forget that. I want to give a big thank you to my mother, first for being my mother. My mother is a very sharp woman, very sharp. Even now I can't compete with her. Second, for sharing with me her qualities of hard work. If you go to where I come from Kwen. They know my mother, they call her Mami Lagos. That woman can work hard. I think that's where I got this quality. The quality of being strict, I got it from my dad. The quality of working hard, I got it from my mother. Because why? Two people get a child. I got the quality from my mother, I got the quality from my dad. And I know what I got from each of them. I know that. My mother is sharp-witted, business acumen to the top. And she is resilient, very resilient. If you can be my mother, you can understand the rest of the story. Because I don't give up on nothing. We say blood runs in the veins. I'm proud of you as my mother. Your hard work was never in vain. Writing a book is a long and often solitary process. It is the people around us who provide the motivation and inspiration to keep going. This book is about my experiences, but it is a starting conversation. It's a starting point on a conversation on education, on what we can do to make the teaching profession more meaningful to teachers and to parents. So once again, thank you all for being here. I want to recognize my friends from the Nigerian community. I have Victor over there. I have Manning over there. I have Manning for Rwanda. I have my sister from Boston. I have the Prince there. I have my neighbor, Chief Ogele over there in the back. I have that's my mother's sister sitting there. They have driven all the way from Monterrey to get over here. My brother, Awambehofer, so that they can hear Nkwen in America. My brother is a major in the U.S. Army. He has come down here with his family. Olivia, come on over here. I want to recognize them because family is gold. They have driven down here with all their children to honor this occasion. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you. And where is my beautiful wife? You know, I'm looking young because my wife is making me younger. You know the rest of the story. I don't want to go into that. I want to thank Jude. This is my brother's beautiful wife. See how young and sexy she is. I want to thank Jude. From Genesis to Exodus and Revelation, Jude has been there. When I was the principal of New Designs, he was there. We have walked the walk. Jude has done all the banners you have here. So let me cut this short so we can take pictures and you can have something to remember this. Dr. Liz, thank you once more. Thank you once more.
The small thing for me, I want to for you being I say, my sister, it be left here for me. When I don't come back for farm, so I want you go talk say, Mommy, you don't go to school, then drive you for book and for pencil. I say no fear. Tomorrow I will buy them. And then tomorrow I will buy them. But when of them, we will chop. My US or not there, we will chop them so. And I will find for me because they don't get them, he don't get them pencil and them book. Yes. I'll be very happy. And the thing where I go saw this mom become my sister nowhere. Today Cameroon, you receive her. Because I be like I'm say when you come off for Nigeria come, You go carry cross for his head. They walk a door to door. They said that. They call him Mami Nigeria. When you Mami Nigeria, because the worker said cross, the became call and say Mami Nigeria or Mami Nigeria. I be very happy today. As me this one don't stand for here, the talks to. When I enter house today, I go say fun. Because you will stand for here, so someone that they get up. But they look mommy like a shit. I see you stand for here, so me and my sister. I say me and you be stay there, Cameroon a day. Me and you not feel like oya. When moon finish, he will send my own and send my sister his own. And we there for inside with the angel. I beg when I today as when I don't come so. Make small bikin way don't go marry your man. You eat and zange, then drive bikin for school fees. You take money, go park, say you would when a man bikin say may go bikin pay that school fees. You take say now you want to chop down bikin. Now you know you all. I'm very happy to say we will stand for you so.
Okay.
On talk.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. So, let me give the phone to the mic to my little brother's wife. He's a major in the army. In the absence of the wife takes control, even the husband is present.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Olivia, and I'll be talking on behalf of myself and my husband, Major Asangwe. I am very happy for my brother-in-law. I fondly call him Uncle Joe. And when I first met my husband, I don't know, but he is the one that I would say is a pillar of my marriage. He's the one I'll call to complain even in the middle of the night. Even when I'm crying or if something goes wrong, he's the one that would know anything first. So I would always call him, and he has always been my first husband. So today I'm very happy and I'm very proud. Every time I'll tell him I look up to him, I'm learning a lot from him. I'll be like, my husband, talk to Uncle Joe. He always has the right answer. He knows what to do, so always go to him. I am so proud of him. I'm proud of his achievements, and I know that he will keep doing greater things. And thank you all for coming and supporting him today. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I want to recognize Genevieve Defordes, the late dad. He taught me when I was in elementary school. And oh boy, those are one of my teachers that I was really very happy for. Patani for. And it's from there that I started saying, HM, are you there? HM, who is in Cameroon, are you there? And I want to thank all of you for coming. But let's take some pictures so that we get this. Yeah, in the backdrop. Let's use the backdrop to take some pictures, please. Thank you.